This is part two of civics and government. We're going to start with the Constitution of the United States, and we'll go over each part of it. Um, so the preamble of the Constitution, preamble means introduction, is we, the people of the United States, in order to form a more perfect union, establish justice, ensure domestic tranquility, provide for the common defense, promote the general welfare, and secure the blessings of liberty to ourselves and our posterity, do ordain and establish the Constitution for the United States of America. I want to go over how to look up words. I will do my best to give definitions of words. If you come across words and you don't recognize them, you are very lucky today because you can just go to dictionary.com and type it in and it will tell you what it means. So I typed in preamble. Oh, what happened? Yeah, resubmit the form. There we go. I typed in preamble and it gives you a pronunciation for it. So if oh, let me get the Microsoft thing out of the way. If you oh, and of course, uh, um, if you click on this, um, it'll pronounce it for you. And it will give you the um all of the possible definitions. The first definition it gives is an introductory statement, and that is what a preamble is in this case. That is what they're talking about. It also gives you synonyms. Synonyms are words that mean approximately the same thing, not exactly the same thing. And then it also gives antonyms, and antonyms mean the opposite of what it means. And then for some of the meanings, for example, if you look at the third one here, it says a preliminary or introductory fact or circumstance, and they give an example sentence. The example sentence is his childhood in the slums was a preamble to a life of crime. So, dictionary.com will always give you every every definition, and so you might want to go over all of them. You might need to go over more than one of them to find the definition that you need. So that's the preamble. What did they want? What was the purpose of this? They said it was to form a more perfect union. What are they talking about? Well, before the US Constitution, they had the Articles of Confederation. You don't need to know a lot about that. You just need to know that it existed. It was just this loose agreement between the 13 colonies. And so they had that loose agreement. It was it came into force on March 1st, 1781. And again, you don't need to know the dates for that. But then they found that they needed a more concrete agreement with a stronger federal government. And so that's what the Constitution of the United States provided. And that was the nation's um, Apologies, I'm sick today. That was done in 1789. So, um, forming a more perfect union, that was because, like I said, they had a very a loose a loose confederation before that. Established justice, I think that had to do with just establishing the justice system, the judicial system that we have. Ensure domestic tranquility. That was they had the federal government decided how trade could go between states, provide for the common defense. They needed to be able to raise an army and raise money for an army. Promote the general welfare. Not sure why that one's in there. And secure blessings of liberty for ourselves and our posterity. So those are the reasons that they made this Constitution. Next in the Constitution is the original 7 articles of the Constitution. And I did just go to constitution.congress.gov in order to find this stuff. So there's the preamble, which I already went through. Article 1, they're really long. Some of them are long, some of them are very short. Some of them are very long and very difficult to read. You do not need to know everything that's in them for this. You may want to know just because you want to know about the Constitution, and you can go through and read that on the .gov website. So Article 1 of the Constitution creates the House of Representatives and the Senate. Together they make up Congress. It also states the powers and limits of Congress. So that's what Article 1 does. Article 2 creates the executive branch. That is the presidency. It explains how the president is elected, and it states the powers and limits of the president. So that is Article 2. And again, it is very long. You don't have to know all about it. You just have to know that it created our government, basically. Article 3, I believe, is on, I'll look through my notes. Article 3 created the judicial branch. It established the Supreme Court, and it stated the powers and limits of the Supreme Court. So that's what Article 3 was for. And again, this is all just on constitution.congress.gov. You're welcome to read more on it if you want to. I'm not going to go over more of it. Article 4 determines the relationship between states and the federal government. So it tells basically what the states are responsible for and the government what they're responsible for. The federal government is responsible for. Article 5 lays forth a way to amend the Constitution, and I think that one is, yeah, that one's shorter. So this is Article 5. It basically says, hey, if we missed anything, or if we need to change stuff later, here's how we do it. That is what Article 5 is for. Article 6 declares it to be the supreme law of the land, declares the U.S. Constitution to be the supreme law of the land. That's what Article 6 says. Also not a very long one. And I think Article 7 is just the, Article 7 just ratifies the Constitution, which means that everybody signs it. So that's what Article 7 is. I'm going to stop there, and in the next one, we'll go over the Bill of Rights.